Hi there, it's Rebecca Orme here, tackling another Mentor Monday clinic issue with you. So each Monday, myself and Paula Spencer are going to be um, addressing the concerns that you have. Any questions that you can put forward to us, no problem at all. Do it via the Facebook page, Rebecca Orme Nail Pro, or the Mystic Nails page. That's absolutely fine as well. You can email us as well, rebecca@rebeccaorme.co.uk. So anyway, which way you want to get in touch, we can answer any questions about nails. It doesn't have to be about Mystic Nails or anything that we do in particular ourselves with our brand, but anything to do with nails we can help you with. So today we're going to tackle the removal of cuticle. It's something I get asked about constantly. Why am I getting lifting? I'm doing everything like you told me, that kind of thing, and I'm still getting some lifting. So there's a lot of brands out there, and they've each got their own ways and means of preparing the nail plate and making sure that everything goes on properly, whether it's mixed ratio or down to whether you use a primer or not. So you've got to follow the brand's instructions that you're of the product that you're using, but there are some generic things that go across the board, and one of them is pushing back the proximal nail fold, as it's now called. It's changed from being the eponychium over the last couple of years. So we push back that proximal nail fold and we remove the cuticle. The cuticle is dead skin cells. It doesn't need to be there. We're kind of exfoliating the nail surface by removing it. But nail products do not stick to skin. So as much as you might, be able to put some product onto your skin and it sticks for a few minutes, it will just pop off quite quickly. So dead skin cell on the nail plate means that you're going to get lifting. So when you're preparing the nail plate, it is not just a matter of following the steps, pushing back the proximal nail fold and removing the cuticle. It's doing it to a degree that you've removed everything, but how far do you need to go? That's always sort of the key point, I suppose. So I've got a video that I've prepared for you from a class that I did a few days ago. It was only last week, and one of my students, Kathy Rollison, thank you very much for allowing me to film it as I went along. She allowed me to just film what I was doing, so I removed the cuticle, and I've videoed that for you, and I'm going to play it next for you basically. So you'll see how much cuticle is actually removed. Now, the thing about removing cuticle is you can't see it to start with. So even though it looks like you're able to push back the proximal nail fold quite well, and you get that nice neat edge, then the cuticle isn't visible until you actually start manipulating it. So once you start with your cuticle tool and start sort of scraping along the nail plate surface, it then becomes visible. And the reason for this is the natural oils that are contained within your nail and within the finger underneath, the nail bed underneath. It hides a lot. Those natural oils actually saturate your finger. The same with your face, your skin, your body. They saturate through your finger, they saturate through your natural nail plate, and that's what gives your natural nail plate the shine that it's already got naturally. So that those natural oils actually make the dead skin cell, the cuticle, invisible. When you start manipulating it and to remove that cuticle, it loses the oils because it's been detached, it's been scraped off from the natural nail plate surface. So it becomes white, and you can see it then, you can see it actually being removed. But it's a matter of how far do you go, and sometimes that's down to the tool that you choose to use as well. So do have a look at the tools that you've got. There's a lot out there that do a really good job these days, but you don't want to use a manicure tool for nail enhancements. That's kind of like how I put it. A manicure tool used when you're doing a manicure is with water and is with cuticle removers, cuticle creams, things like that that actually aid the removal of the cuticle for you, and then you just lift that cuticle off when the products and the water have done their job. So you don't need anything that's kind of scraping the cuticle off dry when you're doing a manicure. So I've actually got two different tools that I use, one for manicure and one for enhancements. So yeah, look at the tool that you use. I've always used a pro pusher. I've used it since at least since 2000 probably 2007. I started my distribution business in 2008, so I'd already found this tool via the brand that I was with, and I've used one of these tools ever since. So it's the Pro Pusher. It's double-ended tool, but it's got a really nice knife edge on the other side. So there's a spoon side that you'll see me use first, which pushes back the proximal nail fold, and then you turn the tool around and you've got this lovely knife edge. It's not sharp enough to cut you or anything like that. We'll call it a knife edge just because it's nice and thin. It's not a blade as such, but it will actually efficiently remove the cuticle from that nail plate without you having to scratch or scrape at the nail plate. So my advice is to get into a rhythm when you're removing the cuticle. Always go from cuticle to free edge in that direction, and almost lift up as you go back to that cuticle edge, that proximal nail fold edge, and then scrape it back down again towards the free edge. So you can get into a bit of a rhythm with the sort of like pressing down and lifting up as you go back towards that skin fold area. If you do scrape all the way back and you're just going a backwards and forwards motion, it's not the end of the world. There's nothing wrong with it particularly, but you do or you can tend to push that that cuticle that you've lifted off the nail plate. You can tend to push it back underneath the skin fold edge, and then you've got to get it out from underneath that edge. So if you don't do that, if you don't get it out from underneath the cuticle edge, then that can lead to lifting when your nail coating, your acrylic, your gel polish, whatever it is, goes onto the nail and touches some cuticle that's been removed but pushed under that proximal nail fold edge. So yeah, that can work against you as well. So the advice really is to go in one direction and scrape down in the direction of nail growth towards the natural nail's free edge, and then lift up as you go back towards the proximal nail fold to do it again. But get into a rhythm. Firm but fair pressure, so you don't need to press down and do and think that you've actually got to really put some pressure on to scrape off what you need to, but it's a firm but fair pressure, and get into a rhythm. Don't put a lot of pressure on, but make sure you do the job efficiently basically. So by getting to a rhythm and doing it at a certain speed, you don't need a lot of pressure. The tool will do all the work for you and do it quite quickly as well. So I would spend no more than 10, maybe 15 minutes prepping nails. I mean, that's to the point that you've removed the shine and you've tidied up the free edge, you've removed the shine from the natural nail as well, and put on your cleanser dehydrator for whatever product that you're using. So 10 to 15 minutes and that should be done. So I see a lot of beginners spending a lot more time than this because they haven't got the pressure or the rhythm that's required, or maybe they're using a blunt tool that's not really getting the product off, so they're waiting to see how much more product comes off, and it's not really efficient. So I'm all about efficiency. I don't like to take the easy route. I don't like the word easy. I don't do things because it's easier. I do things because it's more efficient. So that's the way I come about it, and the Pro Pusher does that for me, along with a few techniques that I've just explained, with the firm but fair pressure and the rhythm. So without further ado, I'll play that video for you. So there's two nails, like I just sort of did them in turn obviously, so I'll show you the first two nails that I did just to show you. Pull the skin back or down at the sides of the nail, so you can get right into all the nooks and crannies and into those nail folds at the side, the lateral nail folds. And yeah, just you'll see how much work I actually did. So it might be less than a minute per nail, or a minute for the two nails. And time yourself, have a look at what you're doing, but the visual, take a note of the visual, how much cuticle I'm actually removing. And it is worth noting that I'd already prepared these nails during a class, during demonstrations on the same student a few days prior to this as well. So there was probably a lot more cuticle that could have come off, but we'd already done her nails a few days before that. So look at how much cuticle I've actually removed and compare it to what you're doing and what you're seeing. If you want any more help and advice, then ask us in the comments. This is not a live video. I'm not really into lives, so I've pre-recorded this for you, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions in the comments during or after this goes live. So get in touch any which way you want to. I hope you find it useful, and send in any questions that you have got for next Monday, and we'll do another Monday mentor clinic for you next week. Right, so here we can see the proximal nail file being pushed back nice and gentle, just with the spin end of that pro pusher as described, and then turn your tool around. Use this tool flat, so you're not going to use it on a knife edge, on a cutting knife edge. Use it nice and flat so it's horizontal, and scrape down towards the free edge. Make sure to get into all those nooks and crannies. And can you see already how much cuticle is being removed? This is all dead skin cells, so it doesn't need to be there. It shouldn't hurt. Shouldn't put enough pressure on that you're actually making the nail plate go white as you're pressing it. You know how you can press the nail plate down and you can see that white through. But look how much I've removed. Look, it's on the edge of my knife, it's on my glove, there's a little bit just on the desk underneath me. But there's quite a lot coming off there, considering that we'd already prepped these nails, like I say, beforehand. So here we see it again. Just so you can get it into your mind. You can watch this as many times as you want, obviously. I'm putting this on my blog on rebeccaorme.co.uk as well, so if you can't find it on Facebook, you'll always be able to search for it on my website and find it through my blog. But come at least halfway down the nail, if not more. You don't have to worry about just doing the zone 3 area. Come all the way down the nail plate, get into a rhythm, like I say. All the way down, all the way down the lateral side walls as well. Get right in there. See, when I'm doing the right side of the nail, I'm using the bottom edge of the pro pusher, and when I'm doing the left side of the nail, I'm using the tip of the pro pusher. And there you go.